As we start off this coaching video catalog, I'm going to point out that we need to figure out what is our part to play in our firms as they seek to be profitable also. And we must remember that we're part of a firm and that they deliver a lot of services and so forth. So the question is what are we here for? What's our job? This is from a 10Q of a big company. Doesn't matter. I believe they all look alike. I just happen to know how to read this one better. So if you look here under 24, we have three things we want to follow: the asset management, transactional, and other. These are revenues generated by the financial advisors of this firm. You add it up, I think it comes out to about $4,950,000,000, okay? So basically, the firm, after expenses, if you look at the total non-interest expenses down there, $4,949,000,000, the firm made around $50 million above and beyond, revenues minus cost. But if you look at the prior year, okay, and you add up those numbers of the same thing, you'll find that we came in around $4,500,000,000, which put us down around $400 million, okay? And you say, well, wait a minute, all these firms are profitable. Yes, they are, because what you do is you add back in the net interest, okay? So if you take the number and the difference, and you take the 400 million from the 2,156,000,000, you end up with about that we made $1,681,000,000. And the same thing on the reverse side. If you take the $50 million plus the 1798 in next interest, we made about $1,821,000,000. So how do we interpret this? One, yes, there are clients, right? So we bring in the clients generate this interest, whether through margins or mortgages or structured products or whatever. We generate a lot of interest, net interest, to the firms. All the firms look exactly the same. I would say the biggest difference is that some firms are better at generating net interest than others. And if you go back and you look at that piece of the 10Q I showed you, the difference between us making 50 million and losing 400 million is that the market went up and our assets under management went up. And you can see that in the top line. We went from 3.4 billion to 3.9 billion. The difference between a loss of 400 million and a make. Now this firm went through several rounds of layoffs last year. And I've been following this firm for a few years. I would say that over the last, let's say 2 to 3 years at least, they've been losing between $400 and $500 million per quarter. Okay, so between 1.5 and 2 billion, and let's call it operating revenue or operating profit. Okay, when you throw back in the net interest, which is totally legit, I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying we would not be profitable without the net interest, okay? So think of Robinhood. Robinhood came out, they're doing all these trades, everyone's sending the stock up. First thing they tried to do, they're probably sitting there going, how come we're not making any money? And so what they did was they said they started a bank account. They didn't have a banking, a right to do that. The SEC came screaming in on them, made it close it down. Then they went through the process, and now, of course, they have all that stuff going on. So, if you're a financial advisor, all I'm saying is you must be aware of how the firm makes money. Yes, we're an integral part of that, but we are not the only part of that at all. And I know people say, oh, we pay them 50%, they don't earn it and all this other stuff. Well, until you can cover your own expenses, I would say we have to take into account what we're here to do. So the thrust, the direction of what we're going to talk about in coaching is net new assets, because the firm's profitability is a function of net new assets, not of your ability to manage money. Okay? So, like and follow, make any comment you want, and thank you very much.